You are missing out on your life because you're trying so hard to manifest the life that you want. You could be enjoying the life that you already have so much more. This isn't some bullshit post on the internet telling you to be more grateful. Yes, gratitude is really important, but trust me, I understand as much as anyone else not having the life that you dreamed of and really going through it and having a lot of inner work and feeling like you had to become this other person entirely or that life was a lot harder or required a lot more than you thought that it did to get where you wanted to be. I am still possibly very far from where I want to be. And yes, you never really know exactly how far away those dreams are. But I have had to do so much more work on myself in the last year, especially than I ever could have imagined. And that's after 2 decades of working on myself in a very significant way. So trust me when I say that I understand that. And I understand that sometimes it can be very hard to be grateful. Also, as a trans woman, like I often don't feel grateful for my body. I often spend a lot of time wishing that my body was something else other than what it currently is right now, knowing that it's probably going to take a few more years to be what I want it to be. But what I need you to understand is that you are missing out on so much because you're not allowing yourself to have more joy in the current moment. And this isn't some performative thing that you should do. I'm not suggesting that you have to just try to force presence because if you try to force yourself to be present, all you're going to wind up doing is just pushing yourself away from the moment more. You're going to wind up dissociating. You're going to wind up getting frustrated with yourself that you didn't enjoy it so much more than you were in that moment. There is something worthwhile about accepting where you're at in any given moment. And so, if you're just not really here right now, if you're not having a great day, if you're not feeling like you, there is something worthwhile about accepting that and about just allowing that to be what that is. It's not up to you to constantly manage that and to worry about exactly where you're at and how present you are and exactly like where things are going and what pace they're going on. Self-awareness is really great and you absolutely should be aware if there's anything that's going to come up for you that you need to work on. But I'm not speaking to people in this message that have just started the journey. You've been on the journey for quite some time. You're not new to becoming aware about the things that you need to work on. So, you constantly being hyper vigilant and monitoring for those things, especially because you don't feel like you're good enough and you feel like you only deserve what you want. When you become good enough, you only feel like you deserve certain interactions or relationships with people when you become good enough. Like, that's partially what's holding you back. You deserve everything in this moment. Potentially also at the same time, some of those things that you want, you may not be quite ready for. That's not you not deserving them. That's not you not being good enough. It just means maybe you couldn't hold those experiences. Maybe you would let it slip through your fingers. Maybe you would self sabotage them if they came closer to you. But that's not the same thing as what you deserve. That's not the same thing as you being good enough or not being good enough. It just is. And so you just have to stop spending so much time. You're literally spending so much time trying to have the right experience, trying to cultivate the right version of you that you're not actually enjoying your life. You're not actually having the experience. There is no purpose or goal or anything that's supposed to be happening other than just life, other than just exploration. That doesn't mean that you can't have a goal. That doesn't mean that you can't have an idea about who you think you're supposed to become. That doesn't mean that you can't have an idea about how your work and your gifts and the things that you do is supposed to manifest in the world. But it is not up to you to constantly be worried about when is that happening? How is that happening? What is going on? Am I getting enough likes? Am I getting enough follows? Am I getting the job that I want? Like just just try to step back and enjoy that a little bit more. And it really just comes from a place of acceptance, from a place of accepting where you are right now and not constantly comparing where you should be. And again, I know sometimes that feels really hard to do. And the answer is not to beat yourself up when you're not doing it and when you feel like you're falling short. It's just to acknowledge that. It's to give compassion and empathy for yourself and for so much of your journey so far, for the fact that you've spent so much time managing it. Because this isn't just a few people that are doing this, this is a shit ton of people that are constantly trying to manage their lives like this. So you're not alone. You're not just like one person that's fucking something up, and I'm just speaking directly to you. Yeah, it feels like I'm speaking directly to you because that's just how my voice is. That's just how my messages are. But I'm not speaking directly to you in the sense that you're the only person that's doing this or that you're like some problem. Like there's so many people that feels this. There's so many people that can acknowledge that they're constantly managing their lives in ways that are making them miserable, in ways that are completely taking them out of any enjoyment of where they are currently at. And so this isn't some bullshit like motivational post about in like a toxic way about how like you should just have gratitude and it's like all going to be okay. Like life is more complicated and messy than that. Like even if you find gratitude today, you might feel none tomorrow, and that's okay. But it's the acceptance of those things. It's the acceptance of the fact that it's not where you want it to be. It's the acceptance of not having the gratitude that you hope for. It's the acceptance of not showing up as presently as you wanted to because all you can do is to try again. And honestly, one of the things that I'll leave you with, one of the things that's been helping me tremendously, astrology and human design. Those are my two favorite modalities by far. And the reason for that is because I'm not getting in the way of them. I literally use AI to help distill the truth for me about who I am and why I'm showing up the way I am and why I'm feeling the way that I am. Because there's something so different about understanding your own flavor of beating yourself up or your own flavor of what it actually looks like to be present instead of just hearing some random advice on the internet and then trying to follow it and it not working and you beating yourself up for that. Like there's something so freeing about really opening that up and really trying to understand yourself. And I'm not saying you have to use either one of those things. Potentially, you don't even really identify as someone who's spiritual, and maybe neither one of those things calls to you. But even if you're just journaling or meditating or reflecting on something, like it is so worth you taking the time to just try to ask a question like, what does this actually look like for me? Why is this challenging for me? And to understand that you are a very unique individual. You have your own unique energy and the way that you move in the world. And there is something so freeing about those realizations because it's so much more than someone just telling you to be grateful or present or just accepting what the moment is. It's you understanding what that means for you, what that looks like for you. And that's the real unlock. That's how you actually start showing up differently, is to better understand what that actually looks like for you and to stop trying to do it like everyone else or to stop moralizing or creating this picture in your head of what you think it's supposed to look like. Because it's only supposed to look like the way that it looks like for you. That's as simple as that's supposed to be, and you need to start giving yourself more permission for that.